Hello, welcome to Win Some Lose More. My name is Dieter Loosemore and joined again by my brother Rick for the Two Loose Top 50. This is the second installment. So we are at 40 to number 31. If you want to see what's gone into kind of making the list, use how we use Pub Meeple and tweak some stuff around, go watch the last video if you haven't already. We're just going to crack straight on with our number 40.
Number 40 is again, I think I said this last time, one that was not new, but new to the 50. This is it was 56 last year when it was new. Now it's 40. Forest Shuffle, colon, Dartmoor. So I
Okay.
enjoy Forest Shuffle. I enjoyed it last year. This is a another sort of tableau builder, like Earth terraforming Mars kind of thing, but super light, stripped out, no board, just cards. And I enjoy it because of the multi-use cards. I enjoy how fast it is. I enjoy and I like the art. It's really cute. Someone just asked me for sort of recommendations. They're like, "Oh, we like Ticket to Ride and Wingspan," and I'm like, and they're like, "I don't want to spend too much money." I was like, "Well, check out Forest Shuffle. That might be a good bet for you. Maybe a hair heavier than those. Not because it's difficult to play, but after a while, there are just so many scoring opportunities on your in front of you. You're just like, oh my word." I had one big problem with it, which is why I didn't make the 50 last year. Which I just kept on winning, which sounds great, doesn't it?
Oh
But
no.
but not just winning, but I kept thrashing people as well. I was like, is this just game just ridiculously unbalanced? Is it just that you were talking earlier about Arc Nova is just slightly beyond your zenith in terms of holding all those things in your mind? Maybe it's just, and I'm like that on different types of games. I can't play Carcassonne. I can't play. There's a whole bunch of games that you would think of quite light, but they just don't work with my brain. Maybe it's just that my brain works with this kind of information processing. But it's just like it's actually not that much fun just beating people all the time. Ultimately, so I it's the most humble brag, isn't it? But it's true. It's true. We don't keep games that either of us thrash the other at.
Yeah.
We might be ones that neither of us enjoy quite so much. She likes this and I like that, but actually we both have a chance of winning. That makes a big difference. Um, Dartmoor is the new standalone version that we just gave our dad for Christmas, and I got to play that with him with a sort of early Christmas. I still beat him, but they've tweaked a few things that I think are good tweaks, and I just think it's a really good game, and I really really enjoy it. And maybe I'll get Dartmoor for myself and just see if like it will create more competition because it's a good looking, good playing, fast, simple, compelling game for a shuffle.
He was very proud of it. We saw him just after you did, and he got it out to show me. We didn't end up playing it, but he's very pleased with it.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah. My
We
number
mostly
40.
got it because it was a good joke that he's from
Yeah.
Devon
Yeah.
and Dartmoor was the most bizarre follow-up game. Like, maybe let's do Ticket to Ride Europe or let's do Forest Shuffle England. No, Dartmoor. What was that about? He
That's
laughed. He thought that was
excellent.
funny.
Yeah. My number 40 down 15 points, but again, just the shuffle of it was 30 the year before that, 25 last year, 40 now. One of my favorite party games will always be on the list, just one. We didn't play for a shuffle, but we did play this, and we played half of the deck. You don't score, it's borderline just an activity.
Yeah.
It's just something to do, social interaction, but the way I can manage it, having fun, kind of not understanding how our dad makes clues in the slightest. Um, but a lot of fun. One person knows, no, one person does not know what the answer is. Everybody else does, writes a clue. If two clues match, they're excluded. The person that doesn't know looks at all the other clues and has to guess what the just one word is. We've banned Widowmaker. It's in the deck,
Oh.
and Dad knows the story of all of it, and we go, uh-huh. But we that word we can veto. Other than that, we crack on. But it's a lot
It's
of
a
fun.
heart attack, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a heart attack, isn't it?
Oh, it's some kind of nuclear submarine or a spider or I don't know.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, there you go.
Um, or a missile or something. Oh, yeah, just one, number 40. Great fun.
Wow. 59 for me. Good one. It's a good one. All right. Number 39 for me. Oh, now this is interesting. So, in order to prepare for this, I don't. I do go through Pub Meeple, but I don't list every game I've ever played because that would just be laborious. I'm constantly creating a short list, which in this case it turns out was 130 games long, maybe slightly long for a short list, but which is why sometimes you get these swings and like, wow, how's that up there? But you know, maybe other stuff from the 130 will find its way back up there. Um, Last year we had a lot of chat about games that were re-implementations of other games, and some we decided were worthy of their same slot, and some we decided were uh, actually the same game. And this was one. This is a series of games where we decided that they were each deserving of their own space. This is the third in the series. The
Oh,
second in the series is now right down at 130 as my least favorite of all my shortlisted games because I don't care about made up dragons. And what Finspan brings to the table is everything that Wormspan did, but without stupid dragons, because it has that sort of exploration action and it feels even more removed from Wingspan, which is the
yes.
predecessor of all of them. Wingspan and Finspan feel quite far apart. You almost need to have played Wormspan to see, oh, I see how they got from there to there. Not
Right.
entirely, but like you can see sort of, you can see how they, and I still think, by the way, that they do all deserve their own space on the list because I think they're all vastly different.
Comfortably.
But Finspan has absolutely kicked Wormspan out of any sort of contention at all. Um, this you it's a engine builder, um, but instead of sort of your traditional like I build this up to get stronger at this thing, you already have the engine that runs. You almost populate it with slightly more powerful things rather than sort of making it from scratch, which is why it feels different to Wingspan, where you have to make it from scratch a little bit more. It's got some fun mechanics about sort of how big fish eat small fish and so on and so forth. I don't like the introductory mode. I think it's a little bit on rails, but I think once you start to get variable point scoring across the weeks, the 4 rounds, then it comes alive for me. And I thought it was, I actually thought it was really good after that. It took me a little while to get into it, but I thought it was great. And yeah, like I say, killed Wormspan for me. 39.
Lovely. My number 39, I think by the time these videos came out, I had played it, but I hadn't when we made them.
Right.
Because I think I played it with you at the Christmas time. And then you since generously gifted me my own copy. Another one I've taken
Ah,
time that there are cards around. This is Cat in the Box, a trick-taking
yes.
game where everything is anything until it's not. Um,
Yes.
and it's it's just a lot of fun. So it's a trick-taking game, and you declare what your card. All the numbers exist, and you have too many numbers for the amount of suits that there should be. Brilliant. Uh, and when you play, whoever's leading the trick plays their card. It's whatever number it is, and they have to declare what the number is, what the color is. Sorry, and everybody has to do that as well. And there's a little track to mark. Now the three of blue has been played. I put my marker there to say it was three of blue. Um, and then everybody else follows suit and we fill it out. Or you can say, actually, I don't have any blues. You never had any blues. All the cards are black. And then you take off your marker on blue. You can no longer ever play blues. But now you're left with more numbers than colors exist by two instead of one. And it just gets trickier and trickier until eventually it's possible to finish a round properly, but it's likely that somebody will cause a paradox where they physically cannot play a card because they don't exist. Um, and then you score area control
Yeah.
as well as a typical trick taking thing of I've declared how many tricks I think I'm going to win. I get extra points if I was right. That's a
Yeah.
normal thing. It's quite, but then yeah, based on the numbers and colors that you've declared, placed your little pieces on this track, and if you've contiguously joined them, you get points for your largest group. And it's like that's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with anything. I'm just trying to not make a paradox. Never mind blooming area control majority little civilization building game in the corner. Like this is a silly, silly thing, but it's very compelling and a lot of fun. And nobody gets it the first time until about halfway through, and then you go, "We need to start again because now I get it, and now I need to do it." And yeah,
Yeah.
it goes down well.
It's great. It's great to teach because you're like, oh, it's a trick taking game. You know, everyone. There's four different colors, and I don't let people say their cards until like, okay, now pick up your card. Now, do you see the colors? And everyone's like, like, oh no, that's right. They're all cats in boxes. Schrodinger doesn't even know what color they are yet. It's brilliant. Yeah, I love it. I love that game. All right, 38 for me is half as good as it was last year, and unquestionably the lowest it's ever been. And this is because probably I've been playing a lot of auction games, and this is an auction game as well as a worker placement and worker movement. And, I love Keyflower so much. And I've just not bought it again, which probably tells me something. But it's a pretty, it's an auction game and it's a worker placement game, but it's kind of a xenophobic one. Not in so much as like got racist imagery or anything like that, but if you use blue workers, you can only use blue workers, and if you use yellow workers, you can only use yellow workers, and so on and so forth. And that means, but you keep everything behind the screen, so you don't know what everyone's got. So you might go, well, I've got lots of blue, so I know that I'll be able to do. There's so many interlocking mechanisms in this game. The production has dated so much. There's a reason I don't own it anymore. But it's unique. Keyflower is unique and remarkable, and I don't think I'm ever going to play it again now. But I still really love it. 38 Keyflower.
Sure. Uh, 38 was 35 2 years ago, 44 last year, back up to 38. So it hovers around here, depending on how much I play it, pretty much. But lighter, not necessarily a typical Uwe Rosenberg, but New York Zoo. The theme just really helps you moving an elephant around a track to get Tetris pieces to build out your park, to then fill it with animals and your zoo, sorry, not your park. You fill it with animals. Occasionally they breed because animals be like that. Um, but what makes it work for me, I think, is because it's a race game. When somebody fills their grid, that's the end. We don't need to bother with scoring. It doesn't matter how many animals you had. You
Wow, yeah, yeah.
keep track and count all of this stuff. It's just breeding animals is fun. The pieces are really cute. And when it's done, and we know who's won without thinking about it. Like it just starts to edge into being complex just
Mm,
a little bit from an intro, anyone can play it kind of game. It has a tiny crunches, but everything else just makes it so accessible that those things don't matter, and you've had fun playing with these little toys. It's lovely. Can
yeah.
you?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like polyominoes. I thought I'd give it a go, but I didn't like it. What I do like it for is that it gave us the cute penguins for Ark Nova in the expansion, so that's good news.
Yeah.
Um, thank you, Capstone. All right, number 37 for me. Okay, I mentioned earlier that or just now, that I've been playing many auction games. I mentioned in the last list I've been playing a lot of Knizia auction games. This is one of his best, Armon Ray 20th anniversary edition from Alley Cat Games. Have you played this yet?
Once.
Okay, and only in two player, right? Which is surprisingly good for an auction game. I quite like the two-player version of it. How do you describe this? So there are costs that you can choose to bid on tracks in different. So okay, a city is up for auction to build pyramids and stuff like that in ancient Egypt, and you can put your worker on the one, and then someone else might come along and put it on the three, but then you can't put it on the three. You have to go to the next house, which might be six. Oh my goodness, it's getting more and more expensive. They're kind of pyramid numbers. Hey, and but then you might decide to do that, but then when they go ahead of it, you can still take your worker off that and put it somewhere else entirely. So actually, you could have been faking that you were bidding for that entirely, or actually, you're quite happy to get it for three. That three's no bother at all, but you want to get it. Yeah, I'm going to force you to spend more money. And when you do that, I'm going to go over here and get this for one, just for one, because I didn't even want to spend that money. It's not so much an auction game as a sort of pushing, poking each other, poking the bears around the table and going, how much are you going to get goaded into buying the thing that we all want, really, but I don't want to spend that much money on. So it's of the ones that are going to come up today, the Knizia ones, and throughout the list, um, it's kind of the heaviest, but I think I really really liked it. Um, and I kind of wish I hadn't moved it on. I had the Alec edition, which is really, really nice, but I was faintly annoyed that the rule book is wrong and the cheat sheet that you show people is wrong, which means, as ever, I'm someone who teaches as much as he plays. I, if when stuff like that is wrong, that bugs me because I'm like, I can't just go, hey, you know that secret information that I'm not allowed to see? Look at this, it will tell you because I can't, that doesn't work. And so, yeah, that's kind of a big niggle for me. Having said that, I think Ammon Ray is pretty good.
Yeah, it did stump me when the picture was so clearly north and south or east or west, whichever one, and then the description was groups of different, I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was so clearly wrong.
Yeah.
But also props to it to some degree that the graphic design is clear enough that it's very clear
Yes.
that it's wrong, and you should go, oh, these two must just be the other way around, and that solves that.
Yes.
It made my shortlist. It's at 130 for me. My shortlist was 150 games. So it's in there. I would need to play it more. Um,
And a higher player count.
sure, sure. My 37, I- I've only tracked the last couple of years. It wasn't anywhere a couple of years ago, but I'm sure this was on the list before. Last year it was 58, so it didn't make the list. But I now own it and have played it more. This is Herbaceous. Lovely,
Oh,
lovely game. Um,
yeah.
Very simple set collection game. You're just picking up a card now and then tucking them under a jar just to score different types of points, either all the same kind of herb, or all different kinds of herbs, or pairs of herbs, or special ones, mint or whatever the special ones are. Um,
Yep.
and it just flows really nicely and it works really well. I know when we first played it, we played it at two and it's very compulsive and back and forth, but I've played it a lot at four as well, and it's just lovely. And one type will just build up, and then somebody takes all the sage, and everyone else is like, "Oh, I didn't want you
Yeah.
to do that right now because I need
Yeah.
just I was
Yeah.
waiting for one other thing, then I was going to get." And it's just, but no one's really mad about it because everyone's trying to do it. So it's you will try and do everything the first time you play, and you will lose.
Mm.
You realize actually, if I only focus on two of them and score really well in those, I'll probably do better than if I score a little in lots of them because of the way the
Hmm.
up within the numbers works.
Yes.
But a small game, easy to take around with me. There's a couple of those on this section of the list. Um,
Mm.
it's it's a calm, fun game, herbaceous.
Yeah. One of the casualties for me. 87, but yeah, can't see it coming off the shortlist. You know, it was one of those. Number 36 for me is new. And I have to say, one of my favorite publishers at the moment is CMYK Games. They just make really, really good looking stuff. Really good looking. Um, Component quality is slightly less top tier. Still good, but like not like you're thinking of Stone Myers and I don't know Days of Wonder or whoever that you're just like, well, these are guys who are making great stuff. It's not quite there, but their art style is always perfect. And they mostly do family games, but they've done one I think really proper gamery game, and it, won Ken Spiel, so it's probably not a surprise. But Daybreak from Matt Leacock, a cooperative game, tableau building, really interesting mechanics, is is really properly good and gorgeous, gorgeous. Really optimistic game. So, Pandemic by Matt Leacock is kind of pessimistic in that, like, well, everyone's got a disease, and we've got to go and fight it and whatever. This is kind of optimistic in so much as like, oh look, global warming's a problem, but we can find ways of fixing that. We can regrow the forest. We can do this, and it's all about international cooperation. You've got the US, you've got Europe, you've got China, and you've got the majority world, all sort of pledging what they can, but also trying to help one another with their sort of CO2 emissions and that kind of thing. And so it's got a great theme. I had this for a little while. I moved it on. My only ding against it was that it was a little bit swingy. And some of the reason for that is because you think of Pandemic, you think of Matt Leacock's best systems. Um, there's a certain level of predictability that he builds into the game. You know, these cards get shuffled over and they're going to put on back on the top, blah, blah, blah. This was very much like, oh, if you get the right card, you get the right card. You kind of womp it if you have the right combo of things. And so sometimes, and there's modifiers you can put in there to make it harder or easier or like whatever. But sometimes you just get the right, and it happens with card games. You just get the right combo, and you kick its ass, and that's just not quite fun enough for co-op games. You do need them to be pushing back at a regular sort of rate. So yeah, Daybreak 36.
My 36, also a co-op game. The lowest it's
Mm.
been in a couple of years was 31, 24, down at 36. Was always my go-to backpack game. This is Fuse. I've taught it again this year. And it just works well. But it's not as exciting for me as it once was.
Mm.
Not I've solved the puzzle and I win every time now. It's just there are other things I want to explore. Real time doesn't necessarily have the same appeal for me that it did because it was so revolutionary for me. It's still a really easy comfort game, not in the sense of that it's comfortable. It stresses me out no end because you're against 10 minutes, and I always use the very sarcastic voice on the Renegade app that kind of makes fun of you as you fail. Um, but yeah, it's still a lot of fun, easy to take anywhere, easy to teach, mostly Fuse.
Mm. Yeah, 127 for me. It's dropped off a fair bit. I wonder if it might fall out of the shortlist. But there you go. All right, number 35 for me. You mentioned last time, and this has been 24, 27, 24. Race for the Galaxy. Great tableau builder, ugly as all get out. Impenetrable iconography, but once you get it, he's actually really good. I roll for the Galaxy has been a casualty for me, and I've always really, really liked roll, but I do recognize race is probably the slightly better system. I just don't care about art, the space theme and all that kind of thing, but it's about as good as a card game can possibly be. Race for the Galaxy 35.
Nice. From co-op to co-op, from tableau builder to tableau builder. My 35 is my other new one on this section of the list. Is one of the most confusing teachers for one of the lightest games. This is Far Away. Um,
Oh,
I've
so
really
shorter.
liked this to the point of picking it up. I don't know if you can see that it's over my
Yeah,
shoulder.
yeah, yeah.
I picked up the expansion as well. It's just more stuff. You wouldn't know it's there or not, but it's just nice.
Hmm.
Um, in which you are essentially drafting cards, but in a initiative order based on the previous card that you played, its speed and stuff. Quite a Cathala thing, King Domino kind of thing, depending on which one you take, determines
Yes,
your order for the
yes.
next one kind of thing, or which one you play in this instance. Um, but if you play a number higher than the one you did before, you get a little bonus card, which will give you some scoring. And so you're building this thing up to 8 cards. But the order that you get them is the reverse order to which you score them. It's really confusing to explain, but
Yeah, I
after
don't.
the first play,
I really want to like this game. I really think I would, but I'm just like, every time I look at it, my brain melts.
it's a weird barrier, but for me it just worked. You because you get
Yeah.
them and helpfully it tells you now flip them all. And so you then reveal them one at a time so the scoring you almost not dissociate, but go, I'm going to ignore the order in which I got them when I'm first learning. Let's just now score it backwards. And now I can go, I want this kind of card early. I want this kind of card late. And then you can kind of play the game. And from there, it then evolves. And actually, there's much more subtlety to it than it looks. Which of the bonus cards are you going to get? Do you care about suddenly resetting halfway through the game all the way back down to like a one if you can, so that you know you're going to get a good run of consecutive numbers towards the end to get more and more bonuses? Because it's scoring like different symbols or the color of the card. It's really, really simple stuff, but the core conceit is so as much a yes, it's a barrier, but it's fascinating when you're actually
Mm.
doing it and
Mm.
really, really quite simple. It's one of those you go, I don't know how people didn't think of this,
Yeah,
but it just works for me. Yeah, good backpack
yeah.
game now, far away.
I'll have to try it. I'll have to try it. My number 34 was in the top 10 when we started this. Was 8, then went down to 11, 26, dropped as low as 42, came back to 31 last year. So I think it's probably where it's going to stay, mid 30s, Root, which is
Oh, it's still here. Good.
it's still here. For a very brief moment in my history, it was number one because it is almost everything I love in games, which is good art, good cardboard, good wood, set in a wood. You know, not not fussier than it needs to be on production. But this is we talked about asymmetric games. I don't know when last time, perhaps. Anyway,
I
oh,
mentioned.
Disney Villainous.
Oh, villainous.
We talked about that, and this is manageable. It's not vast, which is one of its counterparts, or some other ones that I played where I just like this is beyond sort of the ken of being able to play together. I mean, the miracle of vast is that everyone does play together. Root has a central scoring system, and there's things that are a bit more sort of unified, but even still, it's just hard to bring to the table. And again, I've said it before, I teach as much as I play, and it's a hard game to teach and harder than far away because everyone's learning a rule set that doesn't immediately make sense or like understand why you want to do things. But once you penetrate all of that, it is a beautiful interlocking war game, management, resource management, area control, card game, quest filled, the engine builder. It's
Yeah.
all there in a beautiful Kyle Ferrin leader games package. I think, yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. And if I played apps, then probably I'd play the app because everyone tells me that that's the way to go, but I don't. So I'll just have to not play the board game. Number 34, Root.
My number 34, quite an old game now, has always been on the list, but one neither of us have ever owned. It was 30 last year, 34, again, about the same. The Deck Builder Dominion. Never owned it.
Ooh.
I keep looking out in sales, being like, it could go in my collection. It just could. It could just slot in. The app is all right. I played that a lot when I couldn't play in person. Haven't played it in a little bit, but it still just sticks in my brain. Still just something I could sit down, set up. I nearly bought the Mistborn deck building game, and I was like, I love that IP, but I kind of just want Dominion.
Mm,
That's just what I want from it. Um,
mm,
they're different games, but as if I want just a deck builder that's just a deck builder, I want to play Dominion.
mm.
Keep sticking in my brain so it stays on the list.
Real casualty for me. Number 100.
Ooh,
Yeah. Great deck builder. Played it recently with a friend who owns it. But I probably want to do a bit more with deck building than just deck building.
sure. I have
You know,
those.
yes. But I think it's tapered my desire to just play a straight one.
Sure.
All right, 33 was 120 last year, but not really. This is the highest it's ever been, but not really. Because I have initially not liked this game at all. It then grew on me, and so it made it to 82 when we did it as 100 5 years ago. But then they reskinned it in Korea, at least with a Pokemon theme, and now Splendor gets a lot of love and a lot of play in my house. Again, my boy loves this game.
Mhm.
But a friend of ours, he owns it and he imported it from Korea. You can't get it over here. Get it on eBay fairly regularly, and he loans it to us every time he goes away. And the thing I like so much about it is that you can evolve your Pokemon. This is a sort of a bit like Century we mentioned before, sort of a game where you get stuff that gets more stuff, and it's an absolute fast-paced engine builder. But they just, and I thought it was fine and it's good and nice pieces, what they did really well. They're like, oh, look, these round circular poker chips are kind of like poker balls. Well, that works really well. But they add in this sort of evolution mechanic, and it just, for me, knocks it up. Just that little mix of mechanic and theme that I go, this is a lot better. And I actually really think this is the best version of the game that's been. Number 33, Splendor Pokemon.
Sure. Pokemon the Begetting Game. Number 33 for me. This isn't the best version of this game because I don't know that there is a good version of this game. It's been in it the whole time. It was 41, 46. It's come back up. I think it was in the teens maybe when we first did it. I played it with you recently, and the Awakened Realms version is just too much. This is the Castles of Burgundy.
Ah,
But what it did do, playing it again, is going, yeah, this is good. This is good. I just wish there was a middle ground because the Aaliyah ones are
yeah,
the original one I had looked cheap, but it was cheap. It was like 20 quid when I bought it new. Then they did the nice version, which is just a bit garish for me. And then the Awakened Realms one is beautifully tactile, but so
mm,
wildly unnecessary. I do like the double layer boards or the overlays so things don't shift around. That's really nice. But I want there to be a middle ground for this
yeah,
because I would get it again at two, at a push at three. This is sublime, is
yeah,
just within that intuition level for me. I think I still
yeah.
lost, but I'm not thinking like I have no idea how to do this, but I do get the moments of, oh, I need to go, I need to have this, I need to get this, I need to get this. But it's only the three or four steps, not the 17, for me to go, I can just about get this and feel satisfied, even if I don't do well. That's not the point. But
Yeah.
Castles of Burgundy, great game.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about the production level. It's either too high or too low. That I looking at some Black Friday deals recently about sort of, getting the special edition. It's just not good enough. It's
No.
just not good enough. But the other one's too good. Anyway, well, no, well, good news. Number 32, we talk about casualties. Oh my, this is a casualty. It's been on the list since we began. It's always been in the teens. Last year it was the highest it had ever been, which was 12. But I haven't played it in a year plus, and it's Architects of the West Kingdom.
Wow. Okay.
A lovely worker placement
Mhm.
game. We talked about Garfield's, what was it,
Yeah.
Rangers of the North Sea last time. This one it's a cumulative worker placement game. I'll go there to get one stick. I'll go again to get two sticks. I keep going until someone stops me and arrests me. And then they get money, and it's got character, and it's got lovely pieces, and it's so easy to teach. And why haven't I played this? Just not lighting me up. So it's dropped a little bit, but it's still one of my favorite games, let's be honest. Number 32, Architects of the West Kingdom.
Right. My 100. Number 32 for me, another game you will never play, Role Player. Um, Mechanically glorious. Thematically, for me, not for a lot of people. And I get that. I really get that. The presentation style is okay and really not for a lot of people. And I get that. But at its heart, it's like Sagrada Plus. It's just trying to math out getting different colored dice into the right part of your grid to score three different kinds of points, which is why I like this more. Sagrada was just the puzzle grid. This is the puzzle grid plus you can get different armors and weapons, which augment kind of your scoring potential or special abilities during the game. You want the colors to match your, I don't know, your class or your alignment, and the numbers to match something else. It's themed around making a D&D character, which who knew that would make a game? Exactly. And I get that, but I've taught it to people that know nothing about D&D and mechanically they've really enjoyed the game because it's mechanically robust and fun. Even if you've not familiar with a single word or keyword or thematic touch ever, it still works. And that's really impressive to me that you don't need to know it or even like it to enjoy the process of playing it. That's impressive for me, role player.
Yeah, I mean, it gets a slight plus in that one of my friends developed, designed one of the expansions, but that's the only thing. Don't want to play it, as you say. Number 31. I kind of buried the lead earlier. I mentioned that we might be talking about some other Egyptian Reina Knizia auction games. Number 31 is Ra, which I have the new fancy shiny version of. and I still can't win the flipping game. And so maybe that impacts why it's not like the best game ever, like some people think it is. Ra is an auction game, but it's a single round auction. You don't just keep going until people bid, and you have discrete numbers on your board. You can bid a 3 or a 12 or a 16. You can see what everyone else can bid. And so it has a little bit of what I was saying about Arm and Ray. You're kind of looking at everyone else and going, oh, I wonder if I can make you spend a little bit more and how much can I get away with bidding? But it has this wonderful mechanic of like the auction lot keeps changing and you're not sure what anything's worth. And Ra is moving down the track, so you might not even get anything for your money. And then also you want higher numbers because it's also you then bid on the number that's out there. So you might bid a 16, but you get a number one back for the next round, which means you're not going to have much buying power. But maybe you will have a lot of buying power because if you do low numbers, everyone's going to be like, well, I'm not really interested in these things because you're bidding low, or like you're left at the end and everyone else is out, and you can just keep bidding. There's so many amazing mechanics in it, and it probably go up for me if I can figure out how to play the flipping thing. As it is 25th century, hats off, great production, gorgeous game. Rah.
My number 31. You raised the discussion earlier as to whether iterations of games within a series should be one item,
Mm,
multiple. I I still don't know where I sit with this. I think separate. And so I've scored it based on the original because that's my slight preference. This is Seven
mm.
Wonders Duel. Um,
Ooh.
the best, in my opinion, of the Seven Wonders games. I've only played the Lord of the Rings one once. I think that's part of it. It's suddenly having a an area control element
Mhm.
is a step. I think they are separate enough,
Mm.
um, and I think I like the simplicity. Um, but it's one of
Yeah.
those that's been out of my collection. We'll have another one on the next list that's been out of my collection for a while and is always just, oh, do I just get it? Oh, it's in a sale.
Mm.
Oh, it's only this much. Do I just get it? It's really good. Seven Wonders Duel. Up from 43, but then the previous year was 18. So it bounces around depending on how much it sticks in my brain. But I like
Yeah.
that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Brilliant game. Lots of different ways to, well, three different ways to win. The like saber rattling that goes on. Yeah. So clean. So, so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And that is the next 10 complete with a minute left on the clock because these it times us, but never mind. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back again next time for 30 to 21, and you'll see why I was pulling a face. We hope you join us for it. We'll see you again at Bendita. This is Rick for Win Some, Lose More. Goodbye.